The notorious cartel drug lord, seen as one of the world's most dangerous, has been sentenced to 45 years behind bars. Dairo Antonio Úsuga, better known as Otoniel, was the boss of a cartel and paramilitary group with a blood-drenched grip on much of northern Colombia and escaped capture for over a decade. Úsuga was sentenced to 45 years in prison after he pleaded guilty in January to high-level drug trafficking charges, admitting he oversaw the smuggling of tons of US-bound cocaine and acknowledging there was a lot of violence with the guerillas and the criminal gangs. I apologize to the governments of the United States and of Colombia and to the victims of the crimes that I have committed, Úsuga, 51, said through a court interpreter. The United States agreed not to seek a life sentence in order to get him extradited from Colombia. Instead, federal prosecutors in Brooklyn are seeking a 45-year term for the 51-year-old who is suffering from a number of medical problems. His desire for control and revenge simply cannot be overstated, nor can the degree of harm he inflicted. Prosecutors wrote in a recent court filing they described his decade-long leadership of Colombia's notorious Gulf Clan group as a reign of terror. Having been born into a region of great conflict, I grew up with this conflict, he said, in court, advising young people not to take the same path that I have taken. We should leave armed conflicts in the past, he added. Úsuga's lawyers have sought to cast him as a product of his homeland woes, a man born into remote rural poverty, surrounded by guerrilla warfare, recruited into at the age of 16, and forged by decades of seeing friends, fellow soldiers, and loved ones killed. Over the years, he allied with both left and right-wing combatants in the country's long-running internal conflicts, understanding that his crimes requires a closer evaluation of the history of violence and trauma that shaped Colombia as a nation, and Mr. Úsuga's David as a human being, social worker Melissa Lang wrote, using a fuller version of his last name in a July report that his attorneys filed in court. Úsuga was Colombia's most wanted kingpin before his arrest in 2021, and he had been under indictment in the US since 2009. The Gulf Clan, also known as the Gatenist Self-Defense Forces of Colombia, hold sway in an area rich with smuggling routes for drugs, weapons and migrants, boasting military-grade weapons, and thousands of members of the group has fought rival gangs, paramilitary groups and Colombian authorities. It financed its rule by imposing taxes on cocaine produced and stored or transported through its territory. As part of his plea deal, he agreed to forfeit $216 million of his illicit income that he made. In military work, homicides were committed, Úsuga said through a court interpreter when pleading guilty. Úsuga ordered killings of perceived enemies, one of whom was tortured, buried alive and beheaded, and terrorized the public at large, prosecutors say. They say the kingpin ordered up a days-long stay home or die strike after his brother was killed in a police raid, and he offered bounties for the lives of police and soldiers, which is absolutely mental and crazy. The damage that this man named Otoniel has caused to our family is unfathomable. Relatives of slain police officer Milton Eliezer Flores Arcila wrote to the court. The widow of Officer John Gelber Rojas Colmenares, killed in 2017, said Úsuga took away the chance I had of growing old with the love of my life. All I am asking for is justice for my daughter, for myself, for John's family, for his friends, and in honour of my husband, that his death not go unpunished, she wrote. All the relatives' names were redacted in court filings. Despite manhunts and US and Colombian reward offers to top 5 million in total. Úsuga long evaded capture partly by rotating through a network of rural safe houses. After his arrest, Gulf clan members attempted a cyanide poisoning of a potential witness against him and tried to kill the witness lawyer, according to prosecutors. Please like this video, please comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.